Hi, everybody. This is episode 5 of the Author Podcast, coming to you from Ocho Rios, Jamaica at Couples Sans Souci. This is an annual friendship that we do. I think this is 5th or 6th one. I'm not entirely sure, but brought my brother and sister-in-law along this time too, which is adding a lot of fun. So let's dive into the opening rant. Okay, today we're getting a little bit silly, and we're going to step out boldly. We're going to talk about manspreading, mansplaining, and kind of an interesting world record that got set, and also some guerrilla marketing if everything goes according to plan. Okay, so manspreading. This came up because I posted a video about a travel down, and I'll put it up here so you can see. So we're on a flight down from Atlanta, and they serve us chips, these little tiny little sun chips, which I'd never seen before. So I'm like, well, wouldn't this be funny if we say, why did it happen? Is this because of pressure differences? So the first and only comment somebody made was about, oh, this poor woman that I'm manspreading into next to me. Well, happens to be my wife, and I'm a foot taller than her, but to compensate, is my seat larger? No. Look at the pocket space in front. There's a solid wire across the front. So if I got my drink in there, it's going to pull back and I lose 3 inches. Now, maybe we can make the pocket smaller. Like, who needs that wide of something shoved in there? It doesn't make any sense. So come on. And also, if you look up front, look at the seat depth. Like, I've got this tiny little area to put my bag under. She's got this huge thing. So did they say this was a smaller seat? Did they let me know? Am I the victim here? I think you can make the argument that everyone's a victim in society. So yes, I'm a victim. She's a victim. The guy 4 seats in front of me is the victim. I don't know. Maybe they could give us a cup holder that sits up here so we don't have to lose all of our seat room because I want that. But let's look at manspreading. Okay, so here's Google definition. A man sits with his legs spread apart, taking up more space than he needs and intruding on the space around him, usually on public transit. Now, if you see how I'm sitting, I'm manspreading, right? But here I am by myself. So it's kind of like a tree falling in a forest. If no one's there, does it make a sound? Is manspreading bad? Well, if no one's around, is it? And guess what? It's not just manspreading in public, it's just how men sit. Our bodies are literally designed differently. We're top heavy, we have higher center of gravity, center of mass. So when we sit, we need a wider base. Women are built with a wider base, their center of gravity is lower. So we slouch a little bit, and when you slouch, guess what? Your knees come out to balance. It's just how it works. Common areas are built around the average sized person, of which men are bigger than the average sized person. So we're set up to have problems anyway. And then when the man sits how it's comfortable, all of a sudden it's wrong. Like, we can't even sit correctly. So this is kind of what the video is talking about, right? So now I'm a physician and I have examined thousands of people, probably tens of thousands of people. Actually took doctoral level anatomy classes. And let me tell you, there are anatomical differences between men and women. There just is. So it's not a controversy. So there's certain reasons why we can't have our legs closed as tightly as women can. But I've actually seen women manspread before. They're usually in the ER for a Bartholin abscess. Really don't recommend you Google image that. Just don't do it. Don't blame me if you do. But I think it's just a way for men to be stigmatized again. Now, as a man, and I say that like a real man, like I got a beard, I drink bourbon, I shoot guns, I have a 100-pound dog. My vehicle has a dual hitch on it. In fact, when my wife got a new car, new to us at least, wasn't brand new, I drove the minivan for years. But the first thing I did, put a hitch on it, left a hitch on it. So people want to make fun of me for a minivan, but I don't care. I got a hitch on it. It's a truck. You know who doesn't complain about manspreading? Men. Because we call it sitting. We don't call it manspreading. But you put us on this crowded subway train, men just sit. We just deal with it. Nobody complains. Nobody complains about the guy manspreading. You put us in the bathroom, our urinals are so close, our shoulders are touching. We don't complain. They don't like it. We don't necessarily complain. You might compliment the guy's watch, but even that gets weird. So women don't have to deal with any of that kind of stuff. Why? Because spaces are designed around women, not men. We just have to deal with it. But let's take a step back. Let's assume manspreading is the most evil, awful thing on the planet. Like, it's rude, it's conceited, it's self-absorbed, all the things. But honestly, even now, I'm fine with it. Go ahead, spread. Make yourself comfortable. And why? Because here is the recent thing, right? I don't know if it's TikTok or which social media started it, but would you rather be with a random man in the woods or a bear in the woods? I mean, that's absurd, but check this out.
Definitely a bear.
Quick question. Would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? If you're a girl, chances are you said bear. This is the current social game and phenomenon on TikTok.
Ludicrous.
Like in this street interview,
so
7 out of 8 women answered bear over man.
Yes, I guess a guy could attack you. He's not going to, but he could. And what's their chance that this random guy plucked out of society is going to do that compared to a random bear stuck next to you in the woods? So those same random guys are also randomly picked out of society and sent to war. World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. And they just did it. Who steps up when natural disasters happen? These same random guys. So I asked him, is this me you're referring to? Am I the one who's going to attack you? No, not you. Oh, okay. Well, my dad? Is it my brother? Is it my nephew? Is it my son? My grandfather? No one you know. Okay, what about him? Is it his? No. They will never point to somebody and say, yes, you're the problem. There's just this magical mystery random person that is going to be randomly selected and automatically worse than a grizzly bear. So I resoundingly reject that stupid bear comment. The random guy is more likely to give up all of his food rations in the woods for the woman. He's more likely to get injured trying to protect her. So animal comes, he's going to stand in front of her. If there's some water that we don't know if it's good, guess who's going to drink it first? The guy. I mean, just think of all the men in your life. Are there people that wouldn't do this? Are there people that would randomly attack a woman if they happen to be in the woods with them? No, of course not. Now, sure, there's bad people in society, but statistically, I guarantee grizzly bears are going to be worse than the random guy put next to you. But even if this was all true, shouldn't it be a good thing? Shouldn't we manspread to keep women as far away from us as possible? Take all the seats and build a barrier around us so women don't accidentally get next to us and then we harm them. Like, I don't understand. We're supposed to not spread so women can get close enough to attack by us who are worse than grizzly bears. So if you're going to have logic, it has to apply in all situations. Otherwise, it's just random emotional comments used to try to get some sort of advantage and make people feel bad. And I'm sorry, I resoundingly reject it. I think men as a whole are good. I think women as a whole are good. And I think people that try to pit the two against each other have got some other secondary gain, and I'm tired of it. So that was manspreading. What about mansplaining? Some argue I'm doing it right now, which is funny because anytime a guy says something, it's technically mansplaining if it's to a woman. But women would never do something like that, right? They would never just go tell men what they're doing wrong or explain things in life. No, that'd be crazy. Like, they'd never tell us which way to drive, which parking spot to take, what restaurant to do. None of that. They wouldn't tell us what to wear. That's not womansplaining at all. That's just simply helpful comments. But no, you can't say any negative female connotation because that's rude. But the male one's like, oh yeah, they just assume like it's normal. And if you say anything back, well, that's part of the problem. You're mansplaining now. But at the same time, mansplaining, I thought men only cared about one thing. Are you telling me that there are really no deep intellectuals that want to have deep discussions and explain things? Or are we only focused on the one thing? Like, which is it? And frankly, if we're only focused on the one thing, why are we mansplaining? But even during the one thing that supposedly we only care about, we're still being told to do that wrong. And anyway, it's kind of having some fun, but they are, I think, some fair points. And again, don't take this rant the wrong way. In no way am I anti-woman. I'm very pro-man. In fact, I'm also pro-woman. So I don't think negative stereotypes about either one are appropriate. Let's take people individually as they are and make our opinions about them based on that. And frankly, I think we're at a tipping point where society wants real men again. Look at Yellowstone. I mean, every guy on there is a tough dude, right? Except Jamie. And really, they make him the sniveling little cuck, and he's just not anything you want to model yourself after, right? And then the world went nuts over Yellowstone. But the thing is, pretty much every character on that show is an awful person. I mean, Beth is absolutely evil. She's not a boss babe. She's an alcoholic psychopath who needs meds and counseling. Now, sure, you can say that's because of what men did to her in the past, and maybe that's true, but that doesn't excuse current behavior. All right, she's an adult. She can make decisions. She can get help. No, they just throw her into it, and, the shirts. In the world of whoever, be a Beth Dutton. No, don't be a Beth Dutton. Now, the only person I think on the show that's probably solid is Monica, and honestly, I like her a lot. She just stays out of all of it. But I didn't watch the second half of the last season, so maybe something happened. Right now, actually, I'm into the pit. First of all, I hate that word. I blame Grey's Anatomy for that. Nobody in the ER calls it the pit, but we'll get into the show on a future episode. They actually have a ER doc who's a consultant on the show, so I think that's why it's pretty realistic. Like Michael Crichton wrote ER, and while he went to medical school, he never did residency. But again, we'll take a look at that later. And please don't watch Grey's Anatomy. It's not how medicine works at all. So now, let's go to current events section. Now, this is a bit on the sultry side, so if your kids are watching, anybody who can't handle some adult topics, why don't we go ahead and put them to this side. All right, so admittedly, I thought this was a Guinness Book of World Records comment, but it looks like it's just some other random internet record-keeping thing of some sex type thing. But I saw it scrolling through Facebook, and I know it was posted like this, but it was wrong. It said somebody set the Guinness Book of World Record for longest self-love session. It's like, wait a minute, they tracked that? And first of all, how long was it? So let's give you some backstory. I went to IU School of Medicine, and back in the early 2000s, I'm like, we should do something epic. So I said, what's the longest penny pony ride? I was at Meyer. I actually used to work at Meyer in high school. But they had a mechanical penny pony thing. I'm like, how long's the longest someone's done that? Maybe we can set a record for that. Maybe we can try to do some charity fundraiser or something. But emailed them like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, we don't track that. We can't track everything in the world, and that's just not something we do. All right, fine, whatever. But then I see some absurd Guinness World Records since then. One of them was the highest pizza delivery, like highest elevations. I think Domino's maybe delivered a pizza at the top of Kilimanjaro. And they tracked that? Like, how is that any more important than the longest penny pony ride? Like, I don't know. I think if you're trying to get people to break records, the penny pony ride is a little bit easier to attain than delivering a pizza on top of Kilimanjaro or somewhere. That brings us to the topic of this section again. So I'm on vacation, minding my own business, scrolling, and I see this comment about the guy sets the world record for longest self-love session. I'm like, okay, you're going to stop and take another look at that. It's like, okay, well, how long was it? 9 hours and 58 minutes. Right? That's crazy. That's almost 10 hours, half a day. So the pic was some guy sitting there smiling with a girl smiling in the background behind. It's like, I get why he's smiling, but why is she not disgusted? Like, why isn't she ready to vomit and walk out? And the more I thought of it, it's like, who would even track a record like this? And how is this more relevant than what I was talking about? But at the same time, how do you get to that record? Do you email them and say, hey, what's the record? Like, hey, we're going to break this. But then how do you verify it? Does he just say he does, or do you actually submit video evidence of this? I mean, a 10-hour-long video of that? How do you track frame by frame? Well, let's make sure he's not cheating. Like, sure there's no mannequin or something in there. Like, did he splice this? Is the lighting all the same? Like, what are the definitions? How are the no friction injuries? I mean, I'm an ER doc. I see a lot of injuries, and people come to the ER from various love issues and relieving tension issues and whatever. And this is quite the marathon session, though, so there's probably some injuries. But speaking of marathon, how do you get that far? Did he train for this? Like, if I'm going to run, I go to longer distances every week. Finally getting to the point where I can do a couple-hour run, but then I take a break for like a week before the race to let everything heal up. So did this guy do this? Or just grab the whole bull by the horn, so to speak, and go to town? I don't know. But really, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. Who grabs a basketball and decides to miss 5,000 free throws in a row? Who decides to dribble for hours without taking a shot? Who looks for the longest route to get somewhere? Right? Was he graphing a parabola? Like, it kind of approaches but never quite touches there? And what's the world record people? First, again, I thought it was Guinness, but it's not. What's their role in any of this? Why do they track it? And then it's like, well, who had the record before him? So, of course, I looked it up, and it was like 9.5 hours by the same guy. But it's like, why did he decide to just beat it? So priapism, right? You need to call somebody if you had an erection longer than 4 hours. This guy's at 9 hours, 9 hours, 58 minutes. So when people come in like that, we have to actually stick a needle in the side, pull blood out, inject some meds, and get it down. And if we can't do that, urology takes them to OR, takes a scalpel right in the head, back into the shaft, 90-degree rotation to connect the two blood supplies. It's called a T-shunt. And if you have to do it on both sides, now you're non-functional for the rest of your life. So this guy clocked in almost 10 hours. And again, what are the criteria here? Did he have priapism? Was that what it was? Was there medical staff standing by just in case they needed it? And again, how planned was this? Were they just sitting around on a typical Saturday that spilled into Sunday and like, oh, wait a minute, we might be on a record-setting pace here. It's like when I go fishing, I don't say, I'm going to go catch a world record bass today. I just do it. And then I'm like, oh, look at my hands, there's a world record. So is that technically what this guy did? Again, these puns, hilarious. So as you know, I'm an author, fiction author, so I could go all day long making jokes about this guy because they're so easy. And it's all out there. And maybe that would send a Guinness Book World Records. Maybe I should email him. Like, what's the longest video made making fun of someone during a world record-setting attempt? I think we could get there. I got long battery, and we're plugged in for days here. I got bar right over there. I got food right over here. But again, after scripting this episode, I went online and actually looked into it more. And yeah, this was from 15 years ago. So why is it popping up on our feeds now? Like, who would bump a story like that? It's crazy. 2009 to 2025. Why would you do that? Okay, so moving on. So check out my books on Amazon. Brian Hartman, author. I've got 8 books out now and working on my 9th and 10th. Redemption's actually free Sunday and Monday, but this won't come out in time for that. I got a couple psych thrillers, an eco-terror thriller, Murder Burger, and I'm working on Seeds of Change, which is the second book in that. And then it's time to start a new psych thriller, which I cannot wait to do. Okay, for the writing update, we're going into marketing. And here's something fun, right? So we're in Jamaica. I got my book. And I wanted to surprise my wife with this swimsuit. Now, take a look at this video. This British bloke got his girlfriend a swimsuit for vacation that has face on it, like the entire face. even put his backside on it. So I'm going to do something similar, but a bit more classy. And here's what I came up with. So I put the book cover on the front and had to put a QR code on the back. This download now or download here actually moved up. It had been under the QR code. I thought that was too close to the cheek, so I didn't want to do that. So my wife's a real sport, and I'm hoping later today she's going to wear it around the resort and see if people can download it, but we'll see what happens. So honey, let's keep coming up with good marketing ideas so that we can get people reading these books, and then I don't have to do these silly ones with you wearing swimsuits all around resorts. Now that you shouldn't be wearing swimsuits in Caribbean countries, like I want that for us. I just want people to buy the book so that we can do that without resorting to this. So thanks a lot for watching episode 5. Episode 4 was actually my highest viewed one, despite it being the most recently released. So I hope we're getting some traction here. And when we're back home, I'll drop this out on the internet. Unfortunately, my laptop died down here, so I can't get it edited and published. So until then, have a drink for me and go enjoy this beautiful gift of life.